Hi there and welcome to this week's Golf Equipment Q&A. I'm Valerie Melvin, I'm here with Frank Thomas and we're in the Frankly Frog Putting Studio in Orlando, Florida, where it's our mission to help you improve your putting. This week's question was a classic, Frank. It was from Vince, and Vince wanted to know if there were really things such as 1 and 2 irons. He sees references to 3 irons and he can't believe a 3 iron ever existed. And the best part of the question is, he said, frankly, I'd rather use my spoon. So tell us a bit about it. You know, how did the 1 and 2 iron become extinct, and what's the scoop on the spoon?
Vince, I hope the spoon that you're trying to use is not circa 1800s, because that had a concave face, and if you used that, it would be in violation of the rules. You're not allowed to have a concave face on your club. So I would suggest you put that one away. On the other hand, a spoon was then, after that, commonly considered to be a 3-wood.
Right.
And so if you're going to use your 3-wood, that's fine, but I would suggest you upgrade from your spoon to a modern 3-wood, because that'll help a lot. As far as the 1 iron and 2 iron is concerned, the sets did have 1 irons, and in fact 1 iron was a very difficult club to hit, and the elite golfers could hit it, but unfortunately the manufacturers started cheating on their sort of unwritten standard on lofts to prove that their clubs were better than anybody else's. So they jacked up the lofts of all of them without changing the number on the bottom of the club. And therefore the 2 iron sort of became a 1 iron, or even a strong 1 iron, and the 1 iron sort of became extinct. The 3 iron was up there pretty high, and everything worked up except for the wedge, the sand wedge. And so the pitching wedge came up a couple of degrees, which made it into a sort of a strong 9 iron, or a weak 8. And now you have 10-degree loft change in those 2 clubs, and that's what made the space for the gap wedge. But Vince, I suggest very much, if you had a 2 iron or a 3 iron in your bag, or even a 4 iron in your bag, put them away. Put them in the garage and let them sit in the same place as your 1 iron would be sitting, and start the set at a 5. 4 or 5 anyway, and then bridge that gap between that and your spoon with a couple of hybrids. But I'd suggest that the reference you probably heard about the 3 iron was going to be probably from the tour, because there are a number of tour players still using 3 irons, but you have to be reasonably good at that.
Very good, Frank. I think the thing that, the one thing about the 3 iron and even the 2 iron and the 1 iron is, when you're playing in the wind, it kind of helps you keep the ball lower than, a hybrid would, because it naturally makes you hit it a bit higher, but they're just so difficult to hit, it's not worth it. And there's very occasionally you're going to get a shot like that. Right.
The loft is not very high loft, and as a result, you are going to be able to keep it down a little bit. However, you could probably do that with another club which is more forgiving. Because the 3 irons that we have, I tried to find my 2 iron in the garage this morning, and I couldn't. But those were difficult clubs to hit. They weren't very forgiving.
No, absolutely. Well, thanks for that, Frank. We'll be in touch next week, but until then,
may the frog be with you.
Ribbit. Ribbit, ribbit. Find your frog at franklyfrog.com. Ribbit.